Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of our podcast. Our podcast, meaning Chase and Greg's podcast, that we call That's Life. Because after all, that's life. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about, obviously there's shit we got to talk about. There's a lot of shit we got to talk about. Today, I also really want Greg to interview me. It needs to be done. It's really easy for me to interview myself. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Something way back there. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's something. I want Greg to interview me today because I know it's easy for me to think of my own questions and then be like, oh, I know how to answer that. But Greg should interview me. Someone else should interview me. Someone who knows me really well should interview me. So we're going to do that. We're also going to play a little game called Unanswerable. I don't even want to tell you what that game is all about, but the questions are unanswerable, but we're going to try. We're going to try really hard. Anyway, before we get into all the fun of Greg interviewing me, the shit we got to talk about, and unanswerable, I want to show you guys the latest clip from this week today. This episode is fun for me because we get to talk about a lot of modern stuff that's happening right now in home buying, specifically this company called OfferPad. I think it was OfferPad. Dude, it's like The Sims, but for real life. Sims meaning build your home, but anyway, let's check it out. You know when you were a lot younger and you would, or maybe now, I don't know, and you were playing Sims and you'd build this rad house for your little Sim to live in and then they accidentally die when you take the ladder out of the swimming pool? Don't you wish you could live in that house? That was pretty awesome. I mean, some of those were so awesome as long as your Sim didn't burn it to the ground. Cue in real-life company OfferPad, one of the largest iBuyer companies who recently announced their latest and greatest update, Customize Your Home feature. Yeah, this company will let you customize everything from flooring to countertops and whatnot. They'll roll the cost of the renovation in the mortgage, and then they'll have it already installed by the time that you actually move in. Pivot. You know what I mean? While this option is only available in Tucson and Phoenix right now, it should be available everywhere by the end of 2021. Really interesting stuff, am I right? It is interesting, in my opinion at least. It just kind of helps show that we're finally stepping back into the future, or not even the future, the modern home buy process, because right now it's one of those industries that just doesn't want to catch the fuck up. Come on, man. Whether it's politics stopping it or it's people who work in the industry wanting to stop it because it's not the way they used to be. It's tough. It's tough in my opinion to make those efforts to be innovative right now because it just is. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, I want to bring up Greg. Greg, welcome back, dude.
Hey.
He's back. We're happy.
Glad to be back.
Thank you, sir. I know we already introduced this idea earlier of me interviewing myself, then me interviewing you. Now we're going to do you interview me. I have not been briefed even in the slightest about what kind of questions Greg is going to ask me, you guys. So
we're gonna get into the early life, man. We're gonna talk about you as a kid. So yeah, tell us where you grew up, man. Where you went to school.
Okay, so I was born in Northridge, all right? Then the quake of 94 happened and my family had to relocate. I'm not even going to explain that because, if you don't know that there was a humongous earthquake in Northridge in 94, then you how do you not know that? Read a book, man. So anyway, so we relocated to the Bay Area. My dad worked for a company called Elone. I grew up in a little city called San Ramon, California. East Bay area. I moved around that area a lot as I got older. Parents got divorced. So I was in San Ramon, I was in Alamo, I was in Danville. Eventually I even lived in Walnut Creek as I got older. But yeah, I grew up there. I went to Golden View Elementary, go Gators for elementary school. I went to the Athenian School, private school, really liberal private school, super awesome to be honest, just really expensive. For middle school. And then high school, I went to Monte Vista High School, go Mustangs, where Greg and I met each other. So yeah, that's pretty much, and that was those were all in San Ramon just the East Bay, San Ramon, Alamo, Danville. So yeah.
Yeah, and I know you played a lot of basketball back in the day, so tell us about that.
Yeah, dude, I was actually on a traveling, like, really competitive team growing up. That was, like, my sport growing up. It's weird because now, I mean, I love basketball. Don't get me wrong. I love the Lakers. Love watching, honestly, all NBA. But now I'm, like, a humongous MLB fan. Like, I love baseball. Although you and I, Greg, we both grew up huge A's fans anyway. I mean, we went to a massive amount of A's games. But that's not the question. The question is basketball. I played basketball on several different traveling teams throughout, like my childhood. And that was really interesting to go all over. I mean, at one point I actually ended up here in San Diego. I think it was maybe 6th or 7th grade. We did like a huge regional tournament here. I had the quickness, I was a fast dude and I could dish the ball. I played point guard and I had hops, which was really frustrating for a lot of people who were taller than me. Because I'd just get like right up in there and get the rebound and they'd be like, what the fuck is this little kid doing?
Have you ever scored on the wrong basket?
No. I got close. I got really close. I remember being like, I was playing for St. Joan of Arc. I remember that. And it was tip-off, and I was really nervous and really young, really, really young. And the ball came to me on the tip-off, and I like held the ball, and I just started dribbling towards the basket, and I just hear everyone in the stands like, no, wrong way, go the other way. And I was like, oh, that was really close. When I scored, I ended up doing a little layup, little finger roll. I looked to the crowd to see, just to make sure, like, did I score right? And everyone was like, yeah, you're good. So it was close, but, little kids.
Yeah. And, I mean, we all know you love music.
Yes.
But you took a lot of guitar lessons, right?
No. I took...
No? Didn't you take some, though?
I took, like, 6 months worth of guitar lessons, and that's it. But
that's more than me.
I only took 6 months of guitar lessons before I was like, I get the basics. I understand how to, like, warm up. I understand how to get into, like... how to get better. I understand the progression, Mm-hmm. So, and back then that was the University of YouTube started, being a thing. So if anything, I just used the internet and YouTube to show me how to do, how to play tabs or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, which is something I recommend to y'all, by the way. If you haven't already been on YouTube, the University of YouTube, as Greg likes to call it, dude, get on YouTube and learn something. You will learn so much, and you'll go down that like rabbit hole of like, so now I know how to change a tire, like,
yeah.
But it's true. So yeah. Anyway.
And how did your love for 311 begin?
How did my love for 311 begin? I love this band called 311. If you didn't know about that in the first episode, whoa. I can thank my brothers Cameron and Colin like slightly for that. And Frank, of course. But really, I attribute my humongous love for 311 because of Sean Covey. Thank you, Sean Covey. I love you, brother. He's like a brother to me. He's an older friend of ours. To be honest, I used to go over to his wife's house. My mom did, and she would bring me along because the ladies would go watch like Dancing with the Stars or Bachelor or whatever, and they'd be all like, drinking their wine. And then I'd just go into one of the back rooms, like the office area where Sean was, and we would just like play video games. And eventually, topic of conversation came up. He's a big 311 fan. I was like, yeah, I kind of know him. And now I know every word to every single song. So yeah. I have Sean to thank for that one.
So when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was the job, like your dream job that you wanted as a kid?
Dream job would be to be in a really successful like rock band or to be an actor, to be honest. To be working in filmmaking was like, that was something I knew. Probably as soon as I saw the movie Walk the Line. Like, I loved movies, but when I saw the movie Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon and, dude, the story of Johnny Cash, like, just, it made me love something that I didn't love previously. Like, I didn't like country per se. I wasn't against it, but I didn't listen to country on my own terms, you know? And after that, I became a huge Johnny Cash fan, to be honest. And Joaquin Phoenix is just like a fascinating person. And
he really is.
Yeah, it's just such a weird. Have you seen that documentary?
I did a long time ago.
Dude, with
the
rapping? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it's. Let me look up what it's called real quick, just if the viewers haven't seen this documentary on him, it's a mockumentary. I'm looking it up right now because I have to. It's called I'm Still Here. If you haven't seen I'm Still Here, watch it. It will. Your face will melt off, and you'll wonder the lines of reality and fiction will be like, wait, is this for real right now? Like, what the fuck? Did he really just poop on him? Like,
yeah.
Oh.
So, what are your hobbies and your likes and interests outside of work?
Outside of work, I love playing video games. I have a Switch, Nintendo Switch. I have PlayStation 4. I have an Xbox that doesn't get a lot of use. I might sell that soon, actually, because I'm building a PC which I can play all those games on. Love playing video games. I love working out. It helps me with my anxiety, especially. I've been having a lot. I have had anxiety throughout my life, kind of, but like lately, like a lot more. So anxiety and working out are really great together. Like hanging out with my friends, dude. You know, like you. You know?
Yeah. We don't get to that much anymore.
We don't get to that much anymore, but yeah, I love just hanging out with friends, watching sports, playing sports. I have some family here. I love hanging out with them too. They're pretty fun, I guess. You know? So yeah, I keep it real, but I don't have any like particular weird hobbies other than rock climbing. I don't even know where that started. I think I can thank my brother Cameron for kind of getting me on that one. He started rock climbing and told me about it. Just like, dude, you'd be way into it. So my girlfriend Sheree and I, we love going to like the local a mesa rim right around here, dude. I love doing like super tall like rope climbs. That stuff's just like,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
The accomplishment behind like getting up is like, yeah. And then your forearms are all fucked up.
Yeah. Your fingers.
Yeah, your fingers, everything. I made the mistake of wearing my Apple Watch one time during a climb, and I scratched the ever-living hell out of it. And I was like, oops.
Yeah, that's why I've never gotten an Apple Watch.
yeah, that moment when you...
I would mess it up.
And you're like, wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I know you worked in a lot of restaurants and everything. So what's it like now having your own show and you're like the front man and doing all this kind of new stuff in your office?
Yeah. It's interesting because it isn't so high volume in a small period of time. You know, when you're working at a service job the way that I was like a food runner and stuff, server assistant, whatever. When you're working, it's because there's like a rush, you know, like you're working the night shift, Chase, because we need help or we need you to do this and we need you to be on. It's like every night you're on, which is great because I kind of use some of that mentality with being here on set, or just being anyone, not here per se, but like just in general on set. And it's different because there's a lot of different new ways to be productive in the workspace here. It's just a matter of you kind of having the initiative to come up with it yourself sometimes, or at least to be like self-aware to like ask your boss or talk to people and see where you can help and see what kind of projects are available and how to be part of a team. And sometimes it wasn't like that in working in a restaurant because, yeah, you do rely obviously on other people for making your food. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that kind of sucks. But for the most part, like, they're your table, you know, and no one's getting them other drinks unless your person goes, excuse me, garçon, madame, you know, like, and then someone else gets the drink for them, which sucks because then you're getting your ass chewed out by that person. But, you know, it's up to you to, like, this is your table, this is your zone, this is your, and I think in some ways it still is the same way here, but I think that being here, it gives you a lot more responsibility to be productive on your own time. Not on your own time about your own stuff, but like about stuff that pertains to your company. So I think it's smart to be aware of that kind of thing when and if you're transitioning from being in a job where you were serving tables or retail, you know, because there are similarities in the rush, you know,
Yeah,
to
definitely.
when you're like here at the office, because it's not high volume all the time in an office. It's there's time.
Yeah. So if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Here.
Really?
Yeah, I am
I
not
was
kidding.
thinking I thought you were gonna say like Jackson Hole or something.
I've thought about living in Jackson Hole a lot, as you know. I love Jackson Hole. I've been there lots of times, but I don't know if I could live there for like extended period of time. It's pretty secluded.
Yeah, that's true.
And there are beautiful moments about being in seclusion, but when you come, there are also, it's like you get away from things for a while. You go to Jackson Hole, you get some beautiful nature. But when you come back, you're like, fuck, people, yes, people, McDonald's, you know what I mean? Like,
That's how it was when I was living in Laughlin.
yeah, dude, it's weird how it's weird you miss the hustle. I have that personality though, where I like miss the hustle and bustle of being in it, you know. I've actually considered, the other answer to that would be, I've actually considered a lot in the past year, like, not so much LA. I lived in LA for a little bit and it was okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Living in New York though, like New York City. I think that I would very much like being in that scenario. I think it would wig me out every now and then, but when does it not, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I could do it until winter came around, and then I would freak.
That's what our buddy Alex says. He's like, I love New York until it hits winter. I fucking hate it. There's nothing to do. You just stay inside and spend your money.
Yep.
At the bars.
And to wrap it up, last question: what if your house is burning down? It's the one thing you're saving.
The guitar.
Yep.
Either the guitar or it depends, because sometimes this photo hasn't been in my house my entire life, but I do have a photo currently of my Yaya and Papui, which is Greek for grandma and grandpa. I think when they were in Greece. I'm pretty sure the photos of them in Greece. I would probably save that. But if that isn't in my house like it is sometimes, I guitar for sure. That's
awesome.
I spent my hard-earned cash on my guitar. I love my guitar. It's beautiful. It's honestly a Mexican standard Strat.
Frat. The frat guitar.
It's a frat guitar.
It drinks Natty Light.
Gets hammered on natties, bro. What would a frat guitar be like? Anyway, but yeah, it's a Mexican standard Strat, and it's all white. It's like the one from Wayne's World, to be honest, and I love it, dude. It plays like a dream. It's great. So anyway,
awesome.
There it is. All right,
I'm glad we know each other now.
I'm glad that I don't think you've ever asked me questions like that before.
I haven't.
That'd be a weird way
that was a good talk.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks, man. Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for asking. Let's move on to shit I gotta talk about, all right? Shit we gotta talk about. Me and Greg, we gotta talk about this, man. The first one being this KSI and Logan Paul fight. But before we get into our opinions and hot takes about it, I just want people to know what actually happened. So this YouTuber, his name is KSI, and this other YouTuber's name is Logan Paul. They fought. They legitimately got a professional boxing match in order at Staples Center, right?
I believe so.
At Staples Center, and
this is the second one.
Yeah, this is the second one. And they're just both YouTube stars, and they fought, and they made just like a big spectacle out of it, the way that most boxing matches are. But like, this is a different kind of spectacle. I mean, it's Logan Paul and KSI. KSI is very much well loved, and Logan Paul is obviously, if you don't know, Logan Paul is very much hated. The Paul brothers are super hated on, and for good reason, in my opinion.
Yeah, you either love or you hate him.
You either love him or hate him. I have laughed at plenty of their things, but it doesn't mean that I love Logan Paul. Anyway, that's
Justin
not the point.
Bieber's apparently a fan.
I try,
the fight.
dude. I try to be a fan of Bieber every now. I try. There's a lot of songs I love his.
Can't do it.
I can't do it, dude. Every time It's like one step forward and then like a generation back. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like a few steps back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll just give you one quote from this. Paul and KSI were each guaranteed $900,000 to face off in their professional boxing debut. Greg, why don't you give us your hot take on what happened in the match and this money?
Well, what happened in the match was a lot of bad boxing.
Because they're not professionals.
Well, yeah, and they themselves don't know the rules.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the whole time they were clinching up and then hitting each other, and like Logan just kept putting his arm around KSI's head, and KSI kept ducking, so it kept happening, and then the ref was all getting mad. The ref is like turning to Logan saying, "You can't do that shit, man. Like, what are you doing?"
I know.
And then he does this uppercut while he's got him in the clinch, and
knocked
like
him down.
the ref got all mad and knocked him down, but he didn't. He took away the knockdown, and then took away 2 points from Logan also, which that screwed up the whole fight because Logan definitely won that fight, but they gave it to KSI at the end because of the way that they scored it.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, if you watch the fight, like Logan definitely won.
Yeah, it's. I will back up Greg on this. General consensus as of this point is that Logan Paul did win if he hadn't thrown that uppercut while clinched and lost what? Yeah, it was like 2 points. That was it.
Yeah.
So then KSI wins, which is good in theory, but it doesn't solve the problem, which is why didn't either of them get knocked the fuck out?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why they did this second one was because they drew in the first one.
Yeah, that's right.
They had a draw, and so they were like, oh, well, looks like they're going to do it again. And now it's kind of like, well, kind of looks like they're going to do it again because they made, I mean, I'm sure they made well over $1 million because not only did they get the 900,000, but they got partial ticket sales also, and they got part of the subscription as well.
Dude, that's another thing.
And they were the only 2 fighters on the whole card that got a portion of that.
Right, exactly.
So,
how often is that happening? Like, I honestly don't even know. But to me, the way I am reading it, it seems like most of the time when there's a professional boxing match, they don't get that money. But Logan Paul and KSI did because they are, I mean, millions and millions of followers deep on places like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's just like Twitter. I mean, god damn. Like, it's crazy to me that these guys can fight and make a spectacle out of it and make boxing look bad at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing is if somebody's going to offer me $900,000 to, box somebody, like, I'll fight you. And I like you. But I'll fight you for $900,000.
Do you think that we could get that to happen?
Dude, let's set it up.
$900,000? Oh, dude, that would be an interesting fight. How much do you weigh?
Like 150. I'm light.
I will outweigh you. How tall are you?
Like 6 foot exactly.
Okay, I'm 5'10". So
yeah, I would have a reach advantage, but
yeah, Greg's got the lank, dude. He's got that lank. Yeah. He got that lank and dank. Yeah,
but my nose is already crooked. I need you to bust it back in place.
My jaw is like one side is sharper than the other, so I'll let you just pop me right here.
There we go.
That's funny. All right, moving on to the next one because I can't even stand to talk about this one because it just pisses me off. But
yeah.
Next, I want to talk about Disney Plus. Greg, why don't you give me your hottest take on what happened with Disney Plus?
Well, they weren't prepared. That's for sure, because a lot of people are pretty mad right now that they weren't able to sign in. It is really cool, though, that if you have Verizon, you get Disney Plus free for a year. Because I've been seeing that. Yeah, apparently if you have Verizon and you have a subscription with them, you can just get Disney Plus for free for 12 months. So
I don't.
That's pretty awesome.
I don't. I have AT&T. Thanks, AT&T.
Yeah, I have shitty AT&T, so...
Shitty AT&T.
Yeah, I don't thank AT&T for anything.
Yeah, thanks AT&T for that great nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like, Disney Plus has been making, a pretty good splash in the streaming services. So, I mean,
well, dude, think about like, HBO Max right now, which I'm not even going to try to tell the viewers or you or me. I've tried so hard to understand what the difference is between HBO Max, HBO Go, and HBO Now. I don't get it. But HBO Max apparently signed this little bundle deal with Cartoon Network. So you got Amazon Prime, who's got every movie in the history of movies, plus their own stuff, which is a lot of content. You have Disney Plus, which is Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. That's a lot of shit, you know? You have HBO Max, which is premium, quote unquote, premium subscription television, along with Cartoon Network and I believe Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Netflix, who's looking at everyone going, hey, yo, what the fuck? Like, what? So they signed on Nickelodeon. That's their little partnership. I think that...
and they have the rights for all of the old characters also and all the old shows and also to build on those also, I'm pretty sure.
Which is great, but I want rank it for me, Greg. I want you to rank what like those top 4 that I just mentioned. HBO, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon.
I mean, that's tough.
Don't think about it. Don't overthink it. Just go for it.
I mean, I would say Netflix at the top. Probably.
Hot take. What the fuck?
I mean, I don't know. I don't like a lot of the new stuff that they put on Netflix.
I know, that's what I mean.
A lot of random stuff.
That's why I have to say Disney Plus at top because if you don't know, now you know. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, like a humongous hardcore Star Wars fan, on top of being a humongous hardcore Marvel comic fan, like the comics. Like I read the comics. I have like encyclopedias of all the characters too, admittedly. So for me, it's like Disney Plus, Amazon, HBO, Netflix. I love Stranger Things. Don't get me wrong, I love Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Most of the content that Netflix puts out right now, or at least so far, is like mediocre, lukewarm at best for me.
Yeah, I know when they announce all their new titles that they're putting on, it's kind of like, really? Like, these are the new titles that you're going with?
Yeah,
but
I'm like...
I also haven't had a chance to look at Disney Plus. I'm sure it's great, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But
I sent Greg my Disney Plus login, by the way.
Yeah, so... And I also mooch off of your Netflix, too.
And Netflix. Yeah. I gave Max the login to HBO. You want that, too?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm just dishing it out, baby. Hey, girl, you want some subscription?
Yeah.
Still cheaper than your cable bill, girl. All right, last one before we got to move on to our unanswerables. This one's going to be quick. I'm going to give it 60 seconds at the most. CNBC, make it. If you remember this, we did a topic about this on the first episode. Kid makes $172,000. I thought that was great, but it wasn't realistic to what most people are doing right now. There's a girl. Her name is... Show me her name. She graduated from Ithaca College in New York City. Elena Haskins, 23-year-old, makes $50,000 a year. Let me give you a quick breakdown of her budget because it's really interesting. Her take-home is $3,000. Let's say $3,000. It's basically $3,000 in like a little change. She puts $880 away into savings. She spends $950 per month on rent. She spends about $350 on food, another $130, $140 on transportation. She repays her student loan debt, $130 worth of that debt per month. And she still has somewhere in the $500 range, $600 range for subscriptions, utilities, Wi-Fi, phone, donations, and $420 of miscellaneous, which I love making fun of people for miscellaneous. Let's come up. What is miscellaneous for Elena? Elena, what are you doing, huh?
She saved a very specific number.
I know,
so
she did.
We can imagine.
It's true.
But I don't know.
I think it's what you think it is.
Probably a lot of
strippers
beauty products, just like that one.
I mean, beauty products.
That one
yeah.
No Spend November.
Actually, I might not be wrong. I mean, I want to know, hey, if there are girls out there listening to this, and this has been posted on like social media, can you guys give us like a ballpark estimate of how much you're spending per month on makeup?
Yeah.
I'm curious, genuinely curious.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Jennifer, how much do you spend per month? We have Jennifer, our podcast helper right here, besides Carlos. Jennifer, how much do you think you spend on makeup per month?
Well, I don't really wear makeup.
She doesn't really wear makeup.
So I'd say like
$20 per month? That's healthy. That's okay.
Yeah.
I have to buy hair product, you know. I know how it is. shit, $25 I think for the stuff I pay for. So
Yeah, but you
Greg
always buy
pays
the
for
same
tons
stuff.
of. Look at his
Yeah.
hair. Look at that, all that hair, man.
I have-
He needs to.
I have a huge ponytail back here. You just can't see it.
Ew, dude. Oh, if you had a ponytail, oh god, ew. All right. Well, anyway, I wanted people to get an idea of what somebody who's responsibly managing their money is doing with $50,000 per year, taking home $3,000 per month, is doing with their money. Just be aware of it, guys. It takes me, I might not think about it constantly, but at least once, twice a week, I'm giving myself like an honest talk about where I'm at with my spending, what I'm going to be doing with it. I think you guys should too.
The interesting thing about that was you said that her rent was what, $950, and then
Yeah.
she puts $880 into the bank for her
Right?
savings.
That's
So it's like, most people are like, oh my God, I got to pay rent. And then they pay their rent and then they just blow through all the rest of their money.
I know.
Like
so true.
she's almost putting the same amount as her, like of her rent. She's putting the same amount in her savings, which
rad.
that's a huge amount of money
Yeah.
if you're looking at it, after a certain amount of time. Like that's a lot of money once you look at it after a couple months.
Dude, think about, a couple months. Think about 1 full year. Let's do the math on that. Let's do the math on if you're putting away $880 per month.
About $10,000.
880. Oh shit. 880 times 12 is $10,560 in a year.
It's crazy.
That's fucking sick, dude. How I feel.
Yeah,
that
so
made me
open a
feel
savings
pretty good. All right, let's move on to our favorite topic that Greg and I were talking about another time. We wanted to hold these questions for when we got here. This is our section. This is our topic. This is our thing, our little segment called Unanswerable. These questions are unanswerable, and we're going to try to fucking answer them. You ready, Greg?
I think I'm ready.
If no one buys a ticket to a movie, do they still show it? It's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it still make a sound?
Well, I would imagine they would still show it. Because
Would
what if
they?
somebody shows up late? But do people show up late to movies?
Oh yeah, dude, I do on accident all the time.
Well,
I try
yeah,
to
that's
plan it. I try to plan it like so. I get the popcorn. I scan the ticket. I get the popcorn and drink. I sit down and I have minimal of that like Nuvi shit before the movie. If you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, Nuvi is like that show before the movie. And if I can sit down and then they go, the lights start turning down, I'm like perfect, because then I can see some previews. But I don't know if I've shown up so late that the movie already started, unless I'm like,
Yeah, I don't usually go for the previews. So, like, usually I walk in right at the opening scene.
oh really? You
But-
skip the previews?
Yeah, I mostly always do.
The fuck?
I don't know. I'm weird like
That's
that.
super weird.
But I'm also usually late to the movie. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know if nobody shows up for a half an hour, you think they just shut it off?
Save on electricity bills, right?
I guess.
They don't have to send anyone in there to clean it up. I don't know, man. I don't know. You've been in a movie where you're like the only one, right?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
They must hate us when we do that.
I don't know. I feel like it might be like a thing where when you show the movie, like every day they have to pay like the people who made the movie. Like like Buffalo Wild Wings has to pay for each screen when they pay for like a fight or something, like a pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
So I
yeah.
wonder if it's like a set amount of times that they have to show the movie.
I should know the answer to this. I actually do not know how that works.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm gonna do a little research on that next time, so I can give you the answer. All right, let's move on to the next question. If you have a cold hot pocket, is it just a pocket?
What?
The answer is no. The answer
No,
is
it's
no.
It's just a cold
Is
hot
this a
pocket.
cold hot pocket?
Because it's still a hot pocket. It's just not hot.
You don't put things in a cold hot pocket. That's what a pocket is.
It's just a cold hot pocket.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think so. I think a cold hot pocket's you have a shitty microwave.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
to make a hot pocket a pocket, you'd have to take out the inside and then be able to use it as a pocket.
put some coins into it.
Yeah, yeah. I got a bread pocket for my coin purse. Just take
Oh
out the
my God.
cheese and pepperoni.
Oh. Okay, my other question to this. How long do you know how long it takes to perfectly warm up 2 or 1 hot pocket?
One hot pocket is 2 minutes.
On the dot?
But it also differs on
the
your microwave.
Yeah.
Because my one in Laughlin would definitely cook it perfect in 2 minutes. My one here can do about like a minute 50.
Oh, really?
And it's perfect.
Oh, it's better here. Okay, interesting.
Then I think 2 is like 2
2 is
minutes
like
and 40 seconds or something like that.
is like the right time because they tell you what time, but it's wrong.
Yeah,
know?
but you have to buy like 3 boxes of hot pockets and just like keep testing it until you find the right time.
That's our
'Cause
next
it's always-
episode.
Yeah, and then you go to a friend's house and you cook it at that time, and then it's like frozen in the center.
Yeah, and
still,
you're like,
and
what the
it's
fuck
what's
is
going
wrong
on?
with your what's wrong with your microwave, piece of shit microwave? I'll tell you what, I know the exact amount of time it takes for most microwaves to cook 2 hot pockets. You ready for this?
Yeah.
311.
Oh, there you go.
I shit you not. I did it as a joke one time, and I pulled them out, and it wasn't boiling lava hot. It was great, and it wasn't like cold in the center. It was 311 was the exact amount of time because it tells you to do like 3.5 minutes, and I'm like, that's if you want no tongue for the rest of your life, you know.
Yeah.
But 311, watch out for it.
We're done with the podcast. I'll test that out.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be our next. That's our next episode.
Does it
Test-
matter what kind of hot pocket? Like, can
Yeah,
you
doesn't it?
do a
Because
like
the meatball ones, like the ones with the
Yeah.
meatballs, those are like thick pieces of like little meatball. But like
yeah,
the
but
ones,
what if you do like ham and cheese?
yeah, exactly,
And then
ham
does
is-
the dice? And then they have the diced ham, and then they have the sliced ham. So does that make a difference?
I bet you it does. I bet you it totally
So many
does.
equations are going through
Yeah,
my
I
head
know.
right now.
I'm concerned, and now I need to figure this out when I go home. I'm buying a lot of
Yeah.
different hot pockets, and this is something we'll test out, and we'll come back with the results next week.
Yeah.
All right, this one, Greg loves this question. Why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs?
Yeah, why? You know what I actually think in other countries
Struck a
that they
nerve there.
do?
Dude, they serve a lot of weird shit in other countries that I want to try.
Yeah.
And I don't mean weird as in like, ugh, gross, because I love trying
Yeah.
new things. But McDonald's in other countries sells cool shit.
Like the black burger?
McPizza.
Yeah, they have pizza. Why don't they have a freaking hot dog?
Why don't they have hot dogs? I don't know.
You know?
I'll tell you why they don't have hot dogs here in the US of A, though. I'll tell you why. If you watch the movie The Founder, this is seriously the reason. Because back in the day when McDonald's was first becoming like a company, it was ran by just these 2 brothers, all right? 2 brothers in a van. These 2 brothers, it wasn't a van, it was just a Rick and Morty joke. They wanted to keep the menu as simple and easy as possible to keep the dial turning, basically, for people. They come in, they get the burger, boom, they're gone. You know what I mean? And it tasted delicious. And part of the deal was, like, if you made it a certain exact way with the 2 pickles, little sprinkle of onion, ketchup, mustard, the cheese, and, like, they had, like, the system, it was perfect, you know? And then you'd get your food, boom, you move on with your day. But and they went through a lot of trial and error to make sure that this legitimately, like, this thing would work like forever. Like, this is the way you do it because this is the most efficient way we do it. And they talked about different ways that they could introduce new food items onto the menu. I don't know if hot dogs was particularly one of them, but every time they tried to add a new item to the menu, it fucked up their order and the way that they tried to do things. And I think that hot dogs just honestly doesn't fit into like how hardcore McDonald's is to sticking to convenience and speed. Seriously, I think that's genuinely why they don't sell hot dogs because it wouldn't. I mean, fucking 7-Eleven sells hot dogs.
That was exactly what I was gonna say.
You know, like, it's not hard to make just a kind of decent hot dog. I mean, even going to the A's games growing up, they sold those wet dogs on Dollar Dog Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Like,
Yeah, but they would probably have to put a roller back there, where it would heat up the hot dogs and
Dude,
stuff,
and it's
because they're not going to boil water.
No.
They could throw it in a fryer real quick.
No,
but
ew.
That
Oh,
would be the just
no.
most disgusting hot dog
No,
ever.
they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. No.
Yeah,
no.
so, I mean, I get it, but, sometimes I want a hot dog.
Sometimes I want a hot dog too.
Yeah.
I miss Casper's.
Oh, yeah.
I miss Casper's. If you don't know what Casper's is, I'm so sorry. But Casper's has great hot dogs. Had great hot dogs.
Yeah.
How do you handcuff a one-armed man?
If I was a cop, I would handcuff his one hand, and then I'd handcuff his ankle so he just turns into a circle. He might be able to roll away, but he can't outrun me at that point.
I think you just put the handcuffs around both of their ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that
you could do that.
just as equally as,
Yeah.
I think you could
I think
fight
it would just be funny to handcuff his ankle to his wrist, though.
Turn him into a circle.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, sorry, we're running out of time, so I'm gonna keep going. Oh God, this one irked me when I accidentally asked this one to Greg. When does it stop being partly cloudy and start being partly sunny? Explosion in your mind.
Yeah, you were talking percentages on this.
I know. I'll give you what I said, and I'll.
I don't know if I agree.
I said at 75% cloudy, it's partially sunny. At 75% sunny, it's partially cloudy.
But the other question is when does it turn from partially cloudy to cloudy?
But when does it turn? When it goes from
Because
it's the 51. It's the thing I was telling you about earlier when we first talked about this. It's the 51-49. When it goes from 51% of one to 49% of that same one. So if it's 51% partly sunny and it goes to 49% cloud coverage, it becomes partly shit. I fucked it up. But you know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
it's never 50-50 exactly. God doesn't work like that, I was
Yeah.
told.
That's true. He told me.
He told me. He was like, don't worry, I don't do that. I think he says that in Prometheus or something like that. But yeah, not God, but a character says that. God doesn't work in exacts or something like that. It's a good movie, crazy movie. But yeah, what's your honest take on this? Seriously, because I gave you mine, and I sound like an idiot, but
Well, I feel like partially sunny shouldn't be a thing, really.
partly sunny.
Like, I feel
it's
like-
just always partly cloudy until it becomes full cloud coverage, right?
Yeah, because then,
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
because if you have clouds in the sky, it's partly cloudy,
Right.
The sun technically is always out. It's just how many clouds are in the sky.
And on
So
which
you
side of
can't
the
see
earth
it.
we are on.
Well, yeah, but then it's night. But there,
What about at night? Is it become partly moony?
No. It's always either partly cloudy or it's just cloudy.
Oh, fuck.
But I don't know if you can ever say it's partly sunny.
No, I don't think.
Kinda weird.
I think you're right. I think we got conned into this question. It's a
so.
fallacy.
It's a stupid question.
Stupid question. Answerable. Get that one off the list. Why does grape flavor smell the way it smells when it actually grapes don't smell or taste like that at all?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
I don't have an answer for that either. Which
First time I mean, if you have grape juice, like the first time I had white grape juice, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't taste like anything else I've ever had in my life.
I know. It doesn't taste like white. It doesn't taste like white grapes.
Yeah, so like I don't know, it's weird to me, but yeah, I don't know because like I've had like the grape drink that they have like just in the regular gallon bottles at the grocery store.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
can get like all the punch and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but I don't know, like Concord grape doesn't taste anything like
No, it doesn't.
the
No.
grape drink that they sell.
Dude, what? I don't know. It's weird too because I love grapes. I love grape flavored things, but I fully recognize that neither of those things are like the other. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't. A grape flavored Kool-Aid does not taste like fucking grapes. It tastes like sugar and artificially, like, artificially created grape. I don't know. It's weird because
Yeah,
I know that it tastes like grape and it smells like grape, but it doesn't really taste like an actual grape. It's just grape flavoring, and grape flavoring still isn't grape.
Yeah. And it's interesting because
It's a paradox.
all the other soda companies that make like a grape soda, they all taste the same.
Yeah, grape flavoring
So,
is the
like,
same
They
across
aligned
the board.
on the grape flavor, even though it doesn't taste like actual grapes.
I know, dude.
So, it's just weird. I don't know.
I don't understand it. It begs a question. Like, what about something like? And I've asked this, and I've actually looked it up before. What about blue raspberry?
Yeah. Blue raspberries just don't exist.
Blue raspberries do not exist. Okay.
It came out of nowhere, and it's like everybody's favorite flavor. I know it's mine.
Dude, if there's no Coke Icy, I'm getting a blue raspberry.
Yep.
All right. I'll even skip that for cherry, or I'll even skip cherry for blue raspberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's delicious.
Yeah, it doesn't even exist. And the other weird flavor is banana. If you have a banana anything, it doesn't really taste like an actual banana. Like a banana Laffy Taffy.
Oh no!
Like that doesn't taste anything
That doesn't taste
banana.
like banana at all. It's weird because like regular raspberry, strawberry, lime, all those things like Skittles, they taste like the thing. You're like, yeah, I see where it is derived from. But when it comes to banana, grape, blue raspberry doesn't exist. You're like,
Where did this come from?
who was in the science lab doing all the little centrifuges and using the pipettes, and they were like, yeah, this is banana. No, it fucking isn't.
Yeah, it's probably one of those weird like stories where they like accidentally kicked something into a bucket and then it created something else, like
Yeah, they were
and
like,
then
oh no, I
tasted
didn't
it
mean
for
to
some
combine these
reason,
two
and they
things.
were like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Like the Powder Puff Girls, right?
Exactly, yeah. That's how they were made.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These are the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girls. And then what was it? Jennifer, you know what it was.
And then they
She
accidentally
hasn't
added
watched
the toxic stuff and
Yeah, what was it? Chemical X. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yes. Anyway, thank you for answering the unanswerable questions. I want to do this subject again. I want to do this segment again in the future because there are quite literally millions of unanswerables.
there's a
out
lot
there.
of them.
Anyway, you guys, thank you for sticking with us for this whole time, talking about KSI, talking about your debt, talking about unanswerable questions. Hopefully you guys laughed. Hopefully you guys cried. Hopefully you guys didn't turn us off early because we sound like idiots. I don't know. But we definitely appreciate you guys watching and listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on social media or whatever. My name's Chase. Greg,
My name's Greg.
thank you, my sir. We'll see you guys on the next episode.